Hello, everyone. It's me, Nick. This video is entirely unscripted. It's very impulsive. I apologize in advance for how horribly formatted this is going to be. I don't have any of my equipment right now, so I apologize for any audio issues. I'm currently moving houses, but I need to speak up about something that's been going on since last year. Specifically since February 2025. I can't ignore this anymore, and as much as I want to stay quiet, I know nothing's gonna happen if I say nothing. And I know I haven't posted in a long time. This is very sudden and weird, and I don't even think anyone will watch this, but it's worth a shot. I'm trying to do anything just to spread awareness, because this is serious stuff, and I am hellbent on finally getting my justice. As corny as that sounds. This video basically explains why I've been away for so long. I got more things to share about the channel and all of that, but let me start this off with a badly done expose. So, let me just introduce myself properly, since I'm gonna share this around on different platforms. My name, like I said, is Nick, short for Nikolai. I'm known as Palm in the Roblox community. I've gone through many names since last year. I was Vampstil, Palmstil, and I'm now living La Vida Palmla on gaming spaces. And also, I'm now Palm de Sal, or Bread and Moths, for YouTube and drawing. I am a very big fan of Royale High. I've had a very rocky experience with the game since I had bad friends from there, and there were a few odd accusations against me in the RHTC, but I'm not going to get into it since, number one, it's traumatizing, and number two, that's not the topic for today. I'm a high-level player in Royale High. I'm currently level 26,000, and I have about 130,000 guesses in art class, something like that. It's something insane. It's just a big number. I don't fully remember it. But basically, I love to farm in art class while I draw, do chores, just basically do whatever, since it's like an AFK farming simulator. Gaining levels in art class is the perfect amount of dopamine hits to make me continue tasks I get easily distracted from. This is important, by the way. I promise I'm not rambling my ass off. I'm trying to set the scene. So I never had many friends on Roblox. Back then, I only had my family added. So my mom, my dad, my uncle, and my brother. And, of course, I had my longtime best friend Copper on my list. Or on my watch list. I was never one to friend people randomly, basically. I have very intense trust issues with this specific gaming community, and all of that, for some reason, went away when I met this one leaderboard player named Mabel. I met Mabel when she was known as Meiberu Painzu. She is now known as ShootingStarCipher on Roblox. We met early February, but I've stumbled upon her a lot before in our class. Funnily enough, I always thought she was a weird creep, because whenever I saw her in-game, she would be venting so graphically in public chats to her friends or to random people, and it was so uncomfortable. I had her blocked at some point, mind you, since her venting was that bad. I didn't come here for this. I didn't want to see any of that. I just want to farm. All of your vents are covering the canvas, and I can't guess what the drawing is. Why are you saying all of this in public? Mind you, her chats would get tagged so often because of what she shares, and this is before Roblox got extremely strict with chatting and age groups, so this had to have been severe for her to get tagged so often. Wow. I also remember clowning on her to Copper because I saw she got into controversy for using an AI enhancer on IX Shoko's art. And she tried to get diamond commissions out of this, and she was gatekeeping a very basic texture mapping process. That was hilarious. And Loki, she deserved every bit of backlash, since AI sucks, and she's aware of it, but she always exempts herself if she's the one using it. AKA, she's like, you know, a fake AI hating poser. Anyways. I'm mentioning all of this to highlight how absurd it is that I changed my opinion on her so quickly and became her friend. I feel like that is a testament to just how manipulative she is and how good she is with it. I met her in the Campus 3 dormitories. I found him a lot as my fat chud pom-pom in costume. And she noticed me and she was like, OMG, pom-pom pudding. OMG, I love pom-pom. Can we take a picture? And I was like, I don't like you, but sure. I may be anxious around the Royal High community, but like, I'm not gonna deny someone's joy over something I'm obsessed over. I love Pom Pom Pudding. He is such a huge comfort to me, and I always get hyper and excited when someone recognizes my interest and wants to participate in it. It just brings me a lot of joy. And Mabel, she used my interest a lot as a way to connect with me, which is, normal. That's how you make friends, obviously. We talked a lot about Gravity Falls, Sanrio, mythology, and other things the day we met. And she friended me a day later, and I decided to accept because I was like, this person seems very honest. They seem very sweet. They've done a lot of weird things, and I don't like the venting, but maybe they're just really ill. And hey, I'm also ill. So maybe I was wrong about them. And maybe they're just a human making stupid mistakes. And I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, I'm an empath. I'm Shane Dawson. I feel everyone's pain. I don't. I just have a lot of normal empathy and understanding within me. Also, a lot of patience and maybe a bit too much naive hope for other people to improve. This is blasphemy, but I blame my Catholicism for that part. I'm joking. But yeah, she really took my walls down by talking about our shared interest. She made herself seem safe to me, and I shared to her my traumas regarding Royal High. And she was very understanding, which I haven't experienced. Last year and previous years, I felt like everyone online and offline was out to get me. So to have someone like Mabel, who I knew was pretty big in the community and a huge role model, to have someone like that believe me and still be friends with me after what I shared, it really got to me. She also, early on, was vulnerable with me and expressed that she is autistic and has ADHD. I feel more comfortable around neurodivergent people since I'm also neurodivergent, so we bonded over that a lot. She also said she had DID, and I'm not one to fake claim, but it's very obvious the DID is fake. So quick ramble about that before I forget. She uses her quote-unquote DID to excuse her childish tantrums. She says it's an alter who's being the toxic one. It's the alter who is spending recklessly. Not her. It's the alter who is jealous of her friends and is demanding all these Royal High toys from other people. Oh my gosh. It's not her, guys. She promises. Bill Exhibity is the alter name, by the way. Insane name. Mabel has no understanding of DID at all. I have multiple friends who are diagnosed with DID or OSDD, and they were like, yeah, this person is faking it just to get away from their behavior. Very TikTok coded. And the thing is, Mabel, they don't exhibit any symptoms of DID or OSDD, and they don't even know their alleged diagnosed symptoms. She says she's diagnosed with DID. But she doesn't understand it at all. Meanwhile, she can easily go in depth about her other alleged diagnoses. So, what's going on here? I know DID is complicated, but you look like a stumbling fawn in the forest trying to explain to people how your negativity, your emotion, your toxicity somehow became an alter? Not even born from trauma either, just your negativity. You sound like that one dude who claimed to have a Jeff the Siller altar who unalived his mother. I don't know when that was, but that's what that reminds me of. Like, I don't know how to explain this without getting so in-depth about DID, psychology, and how the brain works, so I'm just gonna leave that there. It's just like, she fakes DID, and I think that's vile. It's so nasty. Why would you do that? And by the way, I'm not fake claiming this part, but she flip-flops and says her autism is diagnosed, and then suddenly it's self-diagnosed. I do believe she's autistic. I just think it's weird to flip-flop like that, and it shows she can easily lie about illnesses and have no remorse over it. Where was I? Okay, so basically, ever since I met Mabel in the dormitories, we became inseparable. Like, we played art class a lot, and we talked via the Royale phone a lot. She started to pressure me to get Discord, though, so she can show her AUs better, and also vent to me properly. I hate Discord, by the way. If you've known me for a while, I'm very open about my distaste for Discord. I think it's a very unsafe platform because of the people on there, and yet I still got it for her because I wanted to talk to her. Because, you know, I wanted to be there for my new friend, and I wanted to get to know her better. There's so much foreshadowing in this. I swear to God, I was so stupid. Anyways, I added her on Discord, and immediately, not even a day has passed, as far as I'm aware, she starts venting to me in graphic detail. So much so that I cannot talk about what she would send me. It was horrible, and, you know, it really tugged at my heart, and I just really wanted to understand her. I wanted to make her feel better, so I would just let her rant and vent and rant to me for the 7 to 8 months I knew her. Like, this was just what our conversations were. It was no longer just really nice chats about our interest. She started steering towards these vents. Like, she would purposely become miserable in DMs. I don't know why. She focused on her misery, and she shared it to me all the time. She said a lot of alarming personal things I don't really want to know about because I'm not her therapist. And it really messed me up. Our friendship was so fast, like it developed way too quickly. Like in a week, I knew her, you know, real life situation. I knew her diagnoses. I knew her problems. It was like she was my real life friend that I've known for 8 years. Like, I knew way too much, and it was just dumped onto me and normalized. And I didn't like it at all, but I was naive, and I wanted to stay with her because she would vent to me about how her old friends left her, and she feels so lonely. And I also felt lonely, so I felt a connection. A lot of other things happened in between that I will get to in a moment. She said so much intense things to me, and it ruined me. I was trauma bonded with her, like the actual definition of trauma bonding. Not two friends bonding over similar issues. No. Rather, I was a victim who had a severe attachment to their abuser and couldn't leave. Which I feel so ashamed to admit because this is a random 25-year-old woman on the internet and I was freshly 19. I could have just blocked her as soon as these red flags started popping up. Like, I'm stupid for not doing that. And the thing is, I recognize these red flags, and I still didn't leave because I was afraid she would unalive herself, and I couldn't handle the thought of that. Like, the guilt, you know? I feel like I would have been responsible for her disappearance if I left and she did something to herself. But yeah, I started to conceptualize myself and shaped my identity around her, to her expectations. Very early on into our friendship, I would share my art with her. She really liked it, which is very flattering. And then I made her a decal set, and she was obsessed with it. And ever since then, I was like an AI machine to her. And in hindsight, if I never showed her my art, I feel like she would have never gotten super close to me. Mabel has this repeated pattern of behavior where she befriends artists a lot and pushes them to draw for her. Like, she forces them to make her stuff that she can wear in game, from UGC to my decals and art of her OCs and her AUs. It was bad, really bad. She would overwork basically any artist she knew of. She would sometimes pay me with diamonds, but not always. Like, very rarely, maybe once or twice. And I made her around 200 to 300 decals last year. Mind you, all of my decals, or the majority of them, are hand-drawn. They're sketched. I have to check the mapping, where the texture is wrapped around the model, like if it works, if it's funky or wonky. I have to do line art. I have to do the flat colors. I have to add shading and textures. I have to test everything constantly, go in and out of game every few minutes. It took me 5 to 10 plus hours to finish one decal, and I made her 200 to 300 last year. This is the reason why I did not upload as much in 2025. My whole portfolio last year, it's dedicated to her. And I'm sorry for becoming emotional over this, but it just wrecks me to think that I wasted a year of hard work for her, and instead of honing in my own stuff, like, instead of working on my own projects, instead of working on my channel and growing it and trying to save up money, instead of doing all of that, I prioritized her like an idiot. I ruined my income on YouTube because of this. I legit cannot fix my channel anymore, and if I want to get AdSense, I need to start again on a new account. And I'm sure you're like, why would you do all of this for someone you don't know? Like, why would you basically ruin your own life, your own passions, just because of a random 25-year-old online? Why? I wish I could lie and say, I don't know, but I do. It's because she would tell me that my art means the world to her. She told me that she was basically living because of my art, and that without it, she probably would have been unalived. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I took that to heart, and she would forbid me to give other people art. She literally told me that I cannot make other people decals or anything like that because she wants to stay special. And I would spend so many hours just making her stuff that I no longer had time for myself. I tried so hard to state my boundaries and that I can no longer draw for her so much. I tried to tell her that I have my own things going on and I'm really ill and my situation in real life is bad and I cannot make her so much things and hang out with her as much as I could before. But she did not care. She did not understand. And she would always pressure me. She would always demand things from me and try to make it out as a joke when it wasn't. And she would get mad at me whenever I would say no. And for more context on me as a person, I'm very generous. I don't want to come off again like I'm a huge empath and like, oh, look at me, praise me, I'm such a good person. I'm just saying what the reality is and what my personality is like. I love to gift people. That's my biggest joy, whether that be art or something in-game that I can trade to them, that I can farm for them. I will go out of my way to change my schedules just to talk to people and to make them happy. Like, I love giving people gifts and I love spending time with people. Like, I'm one of those kinds of friends where it comes off like I'm always available, but in reality, I'm not. And she took advantage of that, and she gatekept that. Wild, I know. And like, I would make her art in bulk, basically every day, no matter how tired I was or how sick I was. I was always drawing for her, and when I would try to draw for myself, I would try to hide it from her, because she would try to sneak in a request if she knew I was drawing. She made me erase other people's watermarks so I can steal their art for decals. She would compare other people to me a lot, even her fiancé. I was basically the standard, the expectation for everyone to upkeep. She made me redraw one of my friend's drawings without me realizing. Specifically, she made me remake the Swings Club outfit. It was Bloom's casual attire in, I believe, season 2 to 3. I had to do this on my grandma's birthday, by the way, and like, I was not aware that the old version of this outfit that she had was made by my friend. It sounded as if she was the one who made it, because she would express how much she didn't like it and that it was outdated. When I found out through my friend that this was their art, I felt horrible. And I was also tasked to edit her fiance's art a lot to make it more quote-unquote perfect. At some point, her fiance promised her to practice. Like, they would practice my art style for her. And that is devastating. Again, I'm really sorry for becoming emotional. I'm trying so hard to, not be, but this really wrecks me. I really hate this. I hate talking about this specific experience because I'm someone who advocates for self-expression. I'm a huge supporter of people drawing for themselves and not drawing for other people. I hate when artists insult themselves. I hate when artists try to mend themselves to appeal to an audience. I hate it. And I hate when people try to fix other people's art. It infuriates me. It goes against my morals. And the fact that I went against my morals with one of my all-time biggest special interests, that made me lose my love for drawing. I could not draw at all for so long unless it was for her, because I just had no more drive anymore, and she's the reason why I lost my interest in my own projects. Because my brain started to conceptualize that I was only good and useful if I made stuff for her. If I did anything else, it was bad. It was immoral. I shouldn't be doing that. And to this day, I'm still trying to undo this, and I cannot draw my OCs. My project, Algata, Feywood High, I legitimately cannot engage in it anymore without feeling uncomfortable. I can't look at my OCs anymore without feeling so disconnected from them. And I know I sound insane and chronically online. I don't care. My craft, my art, it means the world to me. And having it ruined, I can't even describe how painful that is. I don't have much, all right? I don't have much to live for. Beyond my interests, I don't really have anything to be happy for and to look forward to. So having it ruined by someone I thought I could trust, oh my god. It was devastating. And there's this one story I want to share. This was the time Mabel and their fiancés having an anniversary. It was their year anniversary. It was September 11, and at the time I was offline from everywhere. I had been offline for a while because I was so severely sick with how intense Mabel was in my DMs and group chats. I don't want to specify the sickness I went through, but I did something horrible. I should say enough. And I wanted to come back because I missed my friends. I wanted to talk to them again, and I also wanted to play Roblox. So I joined Mabel in art class, and I noticed her profile, her roleplay name, and her avatar were all based on Enchantix Bloom. And it wasn't normal because her roleplay name was a rant, event. And she left almost immediately as soon as I loaded in, and I knew that something was up and it was my fault. So I go back on Discord, I reinstall it, I ask my friend Gray to add me back to our main group chat with her. And, dude, she threw tantrums about me in several DMs because I didn't draw her Enchantix Bloom decals. I was sick, and she knew this, and yet she still trash-talked me. She ranted about me to her fiancé, and she ranted in the group chat I was in with our other friends. I felt like a horrible person. It felt like I ruined their anniversary, and they had been together since 2018. I felt horrible. And you know what the wildest thing is? Mabel never apologized to me for this. In fact, the next day, September 12, very early in the morning, She asked if she could commission me Enchantix Bloom decals for $20. I was baffled, and I never responded. Seriously, I cannot express how much this whole art thing affected me. I feel unsafe sharing my art now. I feel like I'm not worthy to draw because of the things I did to other people's art. I just can't. And I'm trying so hard to reverse this, but it's so hard. And she even had the audacity to make a bio about me on Roblox about how respectful I am and all of that. I'm just so hate-filled and so spite-filled. Oh, I'm so horrible. I'm horrible maxing. And that's not even the worst of it. She would threaten so many people. Like, she would wish harm on other people constantly, and it was normal to me, and I started stupidly engaging in it. I regret that so much, and no amount of pain that I went through justifies what I did. Like, I should have put my foot down when she started saying insane things about people like Ryan and Nicole and their friends. I hate that I entertained her behavior and basically told her it was okay, because it wasn't. And I hate that she changed who I was and ruined my moral compass. My moral compass. Like, I just let her be like this. I let myself be like this just because I was scared she was gonna pass away. And like, this part of my experience, dude, I legitimately cannot go in depth about it. Seeing the conversations about it, seeing the DMs I had with her, I cannot handle it. I get so sick when I have to talk about this, but I have to power through, even if I have to be a little vague just to get this out there. She would be so nasty to other Royal High players every single day we talked. She would ask us to stalk them, to ruin their progress, to get them banned. She said a lot of weird accusations as well against these people. She would also ask me and my other friends to farm for her just so she can pass these people in leaderboards. And like, mind you, most of us, not me obviously, are minors. She extorted the hell out of so many kids, or well, teenagers. Teens and kids are basically the same thing to me, even though they're not. Basically, she would lull them into a sense of safety. She would ask and demand so many things from them immediately after, and then she would vent to them in graphic detail. And these people are 15, 16 to 17. She saw no issue with that. She knew it was immoral, and she knew if people online found out, she would be in trouble, but that never stopped her. In fact, there's this 12-year-old, I believe they're now 13. People know about this. It's not just me who's aware. One of her ex-friends even mentioned this. This 12-year-old, I'm not going to say their name. I won't. But, they were obsessed with Mabel. They still are. And Mabel just lets them do whatever. Like, there's no boundaries at all. She even talks to them and roleplays with them, and she is very vulnerable with them, even, because I've seen this kid express a ton of concern for her in-game whenever I stumble across them. Mind you, multiple people confronted her about this. Me, Gray, her own friends. She told us she'd stop talking to them, and yet she never did. She would feature them in a lot of her ex posts. She expressed grievance with the fact that they're so young. Like, she cried that they were so young and that she had to unfriend them. Meanwhile, she's just trying to hide the fact that they're still talking. Like, they're still friends. It's just they're not in her list. And she knows this is wrong, but she won't stop because the 13-year-old is so kind and loves Shadow Milk Cookie just like her. What? And, like, she is so dangerous to everyone, but especially children. I was a dumb young adult. Meanwhile, these are just teens. They just thought Mabel was a cool adult they can trust, and she took that to her advantage. That is the most vile thing you could possibly do. I have friends that are young, but I make sure that I'm not like this with them. I make sure I don't talk about extremely graphic, inappropriate things with them. I know my boundaries. I know theirs. Also, I would never befriend a 12 to 13-year-old. She was 25 when she met this person, this kid. Like, what business do you have with a 12-year-old at that age? Unless it's your, family. And, like, she's 26 years old now, freshly 26, and she's still trying so hard to save face. But here's the thing. She has been like this for years. She said it herself. She has so many friends that she lost. So many artists that don't want to talk to her anymore. The same artists that made her so much art for her characters. The people that used to be so close to her, and yet they refuse to talk to her at all. She will not change. She has the tendency to apologize a lot and say that she's getting better, that you should tell her bad behaviors, and she will fix it. But nothing happens because she's trying to appease you with false lies, with nothing burger statements. Like, mind you, she said, as soon as January 2026 came rolling in, as soon as the new year came in, she was better. She's so much better now. And that we should all be friends again. But then when I actually do try to rekindle things and state my boundaries, she starts avoiding me. She blocks me and she starts lying and talking about me behind my back. Like, girl, what? This woman said I was just as bad as her and that I was repeating her history, by spreading awareness of her horrible actions. This woman saw that I was coping through therapy art, I was coping through humor, and she said that I was spiteful and hateful. She has said so much disgusting things about me. She has said so much disgusting things about other people in general. And yet, she has the audacity to say she's sorry as soon as someone starts calling her out online. She starts this whole school presentation about how she's getting help, a whole presentation. It's like she's trying to run for class president. She says she's not excusing anything, but it's obvious she is. And she loves to say that she's so unwell and has no self-control. Tell me, do you have a lack of self-control when you're wishing harm on others daily? Tell me, do you lack a sense of decision when you tell your friends to make a whole schedule to farm for you to beat other people? Tell me, do you lack control when you manipulate others? I present to you that is a very amazing sense of control. You just don't like that you got caught and that people are finally speaking up. It takes so much brain power to be this terrible. I'm not saying you're smart. You're really stupid, Mabel. But it takes a lot to be like this for years and not change. It takes a lot to lie and not feel any remorse over it. It takes so much effort to keep going with this facade just so you're left alone. You are not a victim in this situation, Mabel. I tried so hard to sympathize with you and forgive you, and nothing has happened. You're still going. This situation is still going. You have ruined so much stuff for me, not just my interests, even some of my connections with friends. You've also ruined my name to people that I don't even know. You have self-control. You have a lot of control. You are just horrible, and you don't want to say that, plain and simple. The fact you have so many official makeup artists friended, by the way, does not sit well with me. The fact you have Kitsilla, a developer, as your friend is concerning. Why do you have your own stuff in Royale High? Why do you have connections with official influencers? You are a danger to Royale High. You are a danger to kids. You need to be deplatformed and banned permanently. I don't care that you spent so many years in Royale High. That doesn't matter when you have ruined my life. And most likely, you're about to ruin a kid's life. Because that poor 13-year-old does not understand the gravity of their relationship with you because they idolize you. They are going to be messed up if you keep continuing with them. You need to leave the internet. And even with all of that said, I still wish you get better. Isn't that sad? I'm the victim here and I still want you to get better. Meanwhile, you're out here trying to ruin my name and you're trying to downplay what happened. You're trying to downplay the fact you literally groomed me. You trauma bonded me to you. You're trying to chuck this all up as petty drama because I'm so hateful and spiteful. And I've had enough of being quiet. I will do anything and everything to take you down because you are dangerous and you shouldn't be online. I'm sick of staying quiet and letting people like you run me over. I'm sick of being patient. I'm sick of being a good little quiet victim. So I'm doing all this. I'm being awful. I'm being rude or whatever the fuck. I'm being a bitch, whatever you want to tell me. And you know what? I feel no remorse. I feel nothing. You deserve this. Do not support ShootingStarCipher. Do not engage with Mabel. Report her. Spread this around, please. There are a few other things that I have to link. A few resources, because I cannot edit this video without feeling horrible. So there's no evidence while I talk. I'm really sorry about that. I have a Google Drive full of images, full of proof. I have Chaos's TikTok and document about Mabel. Thank you so much to them for starting this and helping us out. Without their help, I would not be speaking up right now. To my friends and to other people that have been through Mabel's crap, please don't be scared to be public. It's scary, and I know it sounds so chronically online and cringe to have this person affect us, but who cares? This is serious stuff. We don't need to focus on people who lack empathy and don't understand the gravity of everything. They're just background noise. We need to focus on reporting this horrible person to everyone and getting them banned. I don't know what else to say anymore, and I'm very heated, and I need a break, so I'm ending it there. This is Nick. I hope all of you have a good day. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. I hope all of you are okay and aren't dealing with, anything insane. If you are, I hope things get better for you. You deserve safety and happiness. Thank you for listening. Please, if you can spread this around, do it. It would mean so much to me. But anyways, I will see you whenever I reemerge from my coffin. For now, goodbye.